Okay, let's go on with the reserve grade now. And in this match, there are quite a number of players that have played some first grade, and I think you'll be quite familiar with some of the names. Let's have a look at the highlights now. Canterbury consolidated their top ranking in reserve grade with a hard-fought 14-9 win over Cronulla. Canterbury are in second place on the table, and they're certainly going to take this premiership well within their grasp at this point. You saw Mortimer, number 4 there, a former state centre, coming back after injury. Peter Mortimer, that was. There's so many of them, it's a bit confusing at times, but he made the up the left. And for the Canterbury side on that occasion, number 9, Ray Downey, who was one of the strong players. The Bulldog coach, former international Jeff Connell, had the side firing pretty well, and there's plenty of talent with which to work. Young forward Alan Gillen, I want you to look for him, playing at number 8, son of international Cole Gillen. That's for Canterbury, had a big game. You'll see him, as I mentioned, at number 8, scoring a try. He parts from Pat English, the hooker. He handled the lock position well today. He's already proved competent in the second row, and Gillen's try late in the game actually sealed the win. Lee Pomfret, yet another top-class halfback in the Bulldog camp, was another star. You'll see him too score a runaway try. Pomfret, who replaced international Chris Anderson last week on the wing in first grade, scored the try and kicked 2 goals. Pomfret's try, as you'll see, eventually was a runaway affair, but this one from Stairs was a very good try for Cronulla, Gary Stairs. And you'll see the run around. Actually, it's a double around with Hansard holding the ball one-handed. They used to call it the Statue of Liberty play. But there it is. Over he goes after a double around with Gossip and Stairs. Now, this is the Pomfret try from halfway, and he shows a good running style and plenty of pace to completely outdistance the opposition. Jeff Hunt playing 5'8", pulled off some top-class tackles for Canterbury too. Cronulla were 7th before today's game. Their task will be that much harder after this. The Sharks didn't make the most of the win, which was gale force in the first half, and they paid the penalty. Canterbury, however, did use the wind in the second half. Long, towering punts often took them out of tight situations and back onto attack. Now, there's Glossop losing the ball very close to the line, went in a scoring position, and Canterbury's number 9, Ray Downey, brings it away with a good run. Canterbury captain and fullback Gary Sullivan brought up his 100 points for the season with the second of his 2 goals. Unfortunately, Sullivan was injured and had to be replaced, but the injury is not serious and he should be okay for next week's game against Penrith. Now, there was a very courageous take under pressure by Hansard and a little bit of an altercation there. Coming up, the Gillen try with English involved. Consistent Pat English, as I've mentioned in the involvement with the Gillen try, played quite well for Canterbury. A top-class reserve grade hooker to have on your books is the boy. And here's the pass back inside from English. That was a very, very good try, well conceived and well thought out. And you'll see it on the head-on shot, nicely executed. Obviously a planned move with Gillen coming on the berth in his big frame. I'm sure that try will please his father, who was a pretty useful international too. Gary Stairs had a strong game for the Cronulla side, but Cronulla did it too little and not often enough. The players apparently not getting totally involved in the game. A couple of players, 11 players actually on display in this match, have played first grade football, and when mentioned people like Peter Mortimer, who's played for the state, playing at number 4, Gary Stairs, who's played quite a lot of first grade experience for Cronulla, and Steve Hansard, who was a fixture in the Cronulla side, and he's only been kept out now by the goal kicking and dual ability of Greg Cox in first grade. Some very solid defence there and the possession changing hands. But it was a pretty useful win to the Canterbury Bankstown side in front of 10,800 spectators, which finally packed the ground. And the bleak and cold conditions didn't make it an easy day to play football, let me promise you. But a good result for Canterbury. 14-9 is the score on this particular one, having won the under-23s before that.